Welcome back to Cidery from Scratch. We're David and Rachel, and we're going to take you along our journey through this YouTube channel of moving from corporate America, leaving our jobs in a steady environment, to pursuing our dreams of owning our own business. That business being Cidery.
We thought we would talk to you guys today about some of the things that we have done. It's been about 2 months since we decided that we wanted to just jump full into our dreams and start our own cidery. So we're actually going to be filming today in different areas of our apartment. That's one of the new things that we did do in the last 2 months, is that we got a 1-bedroom apartment up in Traverse City. So stay tuned to see what we have done so far. A few of the other things that we've done in the last 2 months or so, we both have resigned from our jobs. So we both don't work for a company anymore. We're working for ourselves and for each other. And that's one big thing that I didn't see in my future. If you would have asked me 6 months ago, I definitely wouldn't have said that I would have resigned from my job. But that's a really big step that we both have taken. So now we can focus full time on the cidery and what we want to do in the future. We also are in the middle of selling our house. So as we just told you, we're in our 1-bedroom apartment right now. We have about a week or so until closing, but that's also a pretty big thing that we've done in the last few months, is that we're totally moving from where we lived before, and that we're up here in Traverse City. So we've been up here for the last few weeks full time. We've also been really trying to focus on how to make cider, because a lot of it is chemistry. And so we'll put a link in the bio about the book that we've previously mentioned, but that's the book that we're really trying to study. And so we feel like we have a pretty good understanding of how to make cider. By no means are we experts, but we do kind of know, what points we need to be moving along the process, and how to tell, how the cider is reacting and the things that we need to do. So I know we've already told you guys that we made 1 batch of cider, but we've actually made 2. So we'll go into a different episode down the line here about our second batch and maybe some of the hiccups that we've experienced, because the second batch definitely was not as good as the first batch, and we definitely ran into some obstacles.
So Rachel's walked you through the things we've done so far. It's not that big of a list. We've got an exhaustive list of everything we have to do now and what we're working on currently. First thing is, we're trying to find land. We need the land because that's where we're going to build our production facility and ultimately have our tasting room. The land has to be at least 10 acres ideally. That way we have room to eventually expand and grow our own apples. The next thing we have to do is build our in-depth business plan. Ideally, we're looking for SBA loans in order to get everything started and get things rolling. So we'll have to create that exhaustive business plan, touching on every aspect of the business. And that's something we're currently working on day by day to perfect, so that we can ultimately get however much money we're looking for from the SBA loans. Then the fun starts to begin. We have to decide on the name of our cidery, the name of our ciders. We have to decide on logos and all that fun stuff. We haven't quite started that just yet, but what we have started is making cider. So the first step was to learn how the process works, so that we know step by step what needs to be done. The next thing we have to do is perfect our recipes. The goal being for us to create 3 main staples, so that we can have those 3 be well known and always on tap at our location. And the next would be, we can play with those 3 staples to add honey, add cherry, anything that's popular or in season, blueberry, etc., so that we can tweak each of those staple ciders into something new, something different, and something unique. The last step we'll discuss today, which ends up being the hardest one for us, is going to be licensing and approvals. We're dealing with alcohol here, so there's a lot of hoops to jump through in order to be compliant and complete those approval processes. So once we have our 3 staple ciders and we are good to go there, we'll submit for all 3 of those to be approved. And then once the land is good to go, production facility is up and running, we'll look to complete the rest.
The things that we've talked about today are really just the overview of the topics that we have to continue to do. Like David mentioned, we have a lot that still needs to be done. It almost feels like the things that we have done are just setting us up for what we need to do for the cidery. So we're going to be sure to let you guys know the behind the scenes thoughts and processes between all of those different topics that we just listed, because we know that there's going to be a ton of things that we have to do. That list that David just mentioned is a very long one. But it is going to be exciting. We're finally, up here in the place that we want to be and really being able to focus on the cidery.
Our ultimate goal here is to update you every week, the goal being on Thursdays, of what's been going on with the cidery and our life up here up north. Next week we have something special for you. We're going to discuss all things Tank. Tank is our 9-month-old golden doodle that we've had since March, and we're going to bring you up to speed, tell you all about him and some of his crazy things that he does along the way, including photos and videos.
Until then, thank you guys so much for your support and for tuning in to this week's episode. Please remember to like and subscribe and comment below if you do have any questions or comments for us.
And remember, always follow your dreams. Thanks.